your art. Tell us about yourself.
Well, first of all, I'm very excited for being here. I think it was a very nice process to have this exhibition here in Houston. I consider Houston like my second city, and this is very important to me to have art show here. Well, my background is I'm coming from Peru. My family has a very old antique store. My father works with wood, doing a lot of stuff with like frames, and I grew up seeing everything in wood, beautiful works there. Yeah, and also I have my big culture from Peru. We have a huge tradition there. Well, probably have to say, color is what most represent my culture. Yeah.
Good. And so growing up, were you always painting or did you have an interest in something else?
Well, I think the art was always my goal in this life. Since I was a kid, always enjoy painting and doing some graffiti when I was a kid. But then I realized that you need to have more knowledge about the art. This is why I studied in the fine art school in Peru. I also studied design. Yeah, I think my art is the mix of all this experience. Yeah, and you can see my art is always changing, but I try to follow the line of the colorful paintings and arts, but also very deep side of my portraits.
Tell us a little bit about the piece we're looking at behind you. So
Yeah.
what was the inspiration and
Well,
how did you create it?
Well, that piece is probably the most important of this exhibition, called Exhale, which is the title of the show. Yeah, the idea of have the portrait of a woman, it's talk about introspection, but also you have two different elements like the roses, which are very fragile, but also those elements has a different things that you can see is just not something fragile, it's also something beautiful, but also they usually dies very soon. And in the other hand, you have this element, which is like a skull, but it reminds me the fragility of the life. We are just in some roads, different roads, but we have just a very limited time here in this life. So yeah, the idea was to talk about all this situation, post-pandemic and stuff like that, change our life. But we have a big road maybe, or short road, but we have to live something deep into this life, not only for family, just for everything and for the world.
Great.
Yeah.
And your sculpture work, how does the sculptures come about?
Yeah, it also came with the pandemic, I think. You know, like an artist, you want to do something always. I think in that case, I need to find a medium to put all my energy into that thing, and I found clay like at the perfect medium in that time. So I started to put clay and modeling some portraits, which is why most of the people know me. Yeah, I found a perfect medium for expression my art, so for express my art. So yeah, but it's another story. Sculpting, it's different to the painting, but I also try to find on my portraits, on the sculpture, the same feelings, texture, colors, very deep sign of the elements. So yeah, I'm very comfortable now doing both painting and sculpting. So yeah, I'm happy for that.
Great. Is there anything you want your guests to walk away with after seeing the show? What would you like for them to witness, or what do you want them to come away with after seeing the show?
Well, I really want to thank everybody who came into the gallery and see my artwork. This is very important to me to say something. Like an artist, you have a word and you want to spread your word for all around the world. Yeah, I think all those pieces has part of me. Yeah, and I want to share with everybody.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for telling us more about you, and we hope our visitors enjoy and get to take away the feeling and the passion that you put behind your work.
Yes, I want to thank to all the staff of Bison Gallery. You guys made a huge job here, and I think it's also the idea about this process in my artwork. Try to connect the dots everywhere. So what we are doing here, I think it's the beginning. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.